So what if I told you that there's a hidden schedule, a secret clock running inside every single one of your cells? It's the thing that decides when you feel energized, when you get hungry, and when you're supposed to sleep. Today, we're diving into your body's internal clock and why timing might just be the most important health factor you're probably ignoring.
And let's just jump right in with a big question. Is when you eat more important than what you eat? I know, it sounds a little crazy, right? But stick with me, because by the end of this, you might be looking at your late-night snack in a whole new light.
Okay, so to really get why timing is such a big deal, we first need to meet the conductor of your body's internal orchestra.
And that conductor? It's your circadian rhythm. Think of it like a 24-hour master clock that's hardwired into you. And we're not just talking about feeling sleepy or awake, okay? This internal clock is in charge of when certain hormones get released, how well you metabolize your food, and even your body temperature. It's this invisible force keeping your entire system running right on schedule.
But what happens when we just completely ignore the schedule? When our modern life of late nights, weird work hours, and midnight meals goes directly against millions of years of evolution? Well, that's when the clock starts to break, and the consequences are serious.
And look, this isn't about feeling a little groggy the next day. A misaligned clock, what scientists call circadian disruption, it sets off this massive domino effect of problems that can ripple out and affect nearly every single system in your body. We're talking about everything from your metabolism to your mental health.
Okay, first up, let's talk metabolism. The research shows that when our eating habits are all over the place and not in sync with our internal clock, our bodies really struggle to process sugar. This can lead to something called insulin resistance. It can also throw our blood fats completely out of whack and even contribute to high blood pressure. The bottom line is, an out-of-sync clock can directly pave the way for some major metabolic diseases.
And the fallout doesn't stop there. It hits your brain too, your mental well-being. There's a ton of research now connecting a confused body clock to a higher risk for things like depression and anxiety. And for individuals with conditions like autism spectrum disorder, a wonky clock can really amplify some of the behavioral and sleep challenges they already face.
And then, of course, there's the most obvious one, your sleep. I mean, conditions like shift work disorder and jet lag, those are textbook examples of a body clock in total confusion. But it also includes things like delayed sleep phase syndrome. That teenager who just can't fall asleep until 2 a.m.? That's a classic example, and it often leads to chronic sleep deprivation and all the problems that come with it.
But get this, and this is where it gets really fascinating. It's also in our genes. We all have these things called clock genes, and recent studies are showing that tiny variations in these genes can make some of us naturally more likely to develop mood and sleep disorders when our rhythm gets thrown off. So for some people, living in sync isn't just a good idea, it's genetically essential for their well-being.
Okay, so I know that all sounds kind of scary, but here's the really good news. You are not powerless here. You can actively, right now, start working to reset and strengthen your body clock. So let's get into the practical tools you can use to build a much stronger rhythm.
When you look at the research, it really boils down to 3 powerful keys to get your body back on schedule. You need to master your light exposure, you've got to time your meals, and for some people, it can help to reinforce that rhythm with melatonin.
So let's circle back to that big question from the beginning. This whole idea even has a name, chrononutrition, and the evidence is pretty overwhelming. Eating earlier in the day and on a consistent schedule helps restore your hormonal rhythms and gets your metabolic health back on track. On the flip side, late-night eating does the exact opposite. It throws a wrench in the whole system, disrupting your clock and upping your risk for things like obesity and insulin resistance.
Next up is light. And you've got to understand, light is the #1 most powerful signal for your master clock. It's huge. Getting bright sunlight in the morning is like shouting, "It's time to be awake," to your brain. And avoiding those bright screens at night is just as crucial for signaling, okay, it's time to wind down. In fact, time-to-light therapy is a super effective tool that doctors use to reset the body clock for people with things like shift work disorder or really delayed sleep schedules.
And finally, let's touch on melatonin. You've probably heard of it. Think of it as the hormone of darkness. Your body naturally makes it to signal that it's nighttime and time for sleep. Now, for people with seriously messed up clocks, like in some circadian disorders, research shows that timed melatonin supplements can be a really powerful therapeutic tool to help nudge that clock back on track.
So when you put all of these pieces together, when you step back and look at the bigger picture, you start to see that this isn't just about a quick fix for one bad night of sleep. This is about a fundamental shift in how we think about our health.
The ultimate goal here isn't just to sleep better. It's to live a fully synchronized life. It's all about aligning your daily habits, when you eat, when you get light, when you sleep, with that deep internal rhythm that's already running the show. Because when your outside life matches your inside clock, every single system in your body just works better.
So I'll leave you with this. Your body operates on this strict 24-hour schedule that's been fine-tuned over millennia. In this crazy modern world we live in, are you living in sync with it? The answer could be one of the most important keys to your long-term health. Really think about it.